Good morning. It's a pleasant spring day, not overly warm, but should be dry and quite sunny. I've just parked up in Morte and I'm going on a little circular walk, which I've done many times before, but it's a case of getting out and getting a bit of exercise. Heading cross country first of all to a little coastal village called Lee Bay, and then from there it's the southwest coast path all the way. Along a roller coaster, Bullhead, Lighthouse, and down to Morte, which is a fabulous bit of coastline. Often see seals there. And then back inland to Morte. It's about 8 miles, and I've put myself 5 hours on the car park, so if I don't do it in that with just a day pack, then I'm even less fit than I thought I was, and that's pretty poor at the moment. So hopefully we'll see some pleasant sights, especially on the coast. Some tricky navigation early on, and we'll see how we go. So I'll be in touch on numerous occasions. Bye for now. Spring flowers are out today. This farmstead is called Damage Barton, and apparently there's been settlement here since medieval times. Although this part of it dates back to about the 1700s, and I don't think I'll be very welcome there. So I'll give that a miss. I forget that you can hear all my heavy breathing on this. It's a lovely day today. It's a little bit on the hazy side. I'm wearing these sunglasses, but they're a bit mucky with sweat, so I'm going to have to give them a clean. I will say this much, it's really well signposted, this little walk. You can see a faint path across this field. Lovely walk, but I'm about to enter some woods. You can see them perhaps on the horizon there. And if I remember correctly, it's a very steep descent and then a pleasant woodland walk along a little river, stream, beck, whatever they're called in this part of the world. But yeah, initially I think I've got quite a slippery long descent, so I'll show you a bit of that in due course. Here we go on this roller coaster. Got my stick out now for this very stretch. At least this is downhill. I wouldn't like to come up this, but there'll be plenty more hills before the day's out. Had a interesting winter. I've not really uploaded anything onto YouTube for quite some time now. Although I have been still making films, but they weren't particularly interesting and they weren't in great weather, and I was testing out a couple of bits of new equipment, so but yeah, I had a really bad dose of flu over winter. Started New Year's Eve and still suffering with it at the end of January. I don't think it's actually gone yet. There's still something kicking around. I lost my hearing in one ear for a while during that period, and I've got the same thing has happened this morning, funnily enough. My right ear is blocked, not with wax or anything, just it seems to contract and the ear canal gets very narrow, and I'm probably going to have to get them checked out at some point. But yeah, I also over the winter we had a lot of stress because my mum was taken ill quite seriously. She's 85, lives on her own, and it's 260 miles away. So much of the time over Christmas I was toing and froing on a long stressful journey up the M5 and M6, and while she was in hospital for a month, she's out now and seems to be recovering reasonably well, to be fair. But yeah, overnight into Christmas Eve me and Gabby were on the road, and then we came home on Christmas Day, so the whole of Christmas Day was spent firstly at hospital and then driving back home. So we didn't have a Christmas dinner, or we didn't watch the King's speech, things like that. And it was pretty stressful for quite a few weeks, but she's recovered now. She's still causing us loads of stress. She's I describe her as a one-woman soap opera. She's had people trying to scam her. We've got her a cleaner now. She's offered to go on a holiday with her, which is a bit weird. She started hitting the wine. I don't know whether that's a result of, well, she's always liked her wine, but she seems to be hitting it considerably at the moment. We've got our carers coming in twice a day. We've got funding in place to assist with that. And yeah, she's the old girl is an ongoing project, shall we say. But she's doing all right. She seems a lot better than she was, and the main issue seems to have been addressed. So yeah, so I lost a bit of weight over Christmas, believe it or not. But since about February, my own addiction to biscuits has just kicked in, and I'm terribly overweight. As I say, I've had a bad cold. I've got on the training bike again in the garage, but it's not quite the same as getting out and getting into these hills. So it's downhill now from here into Lee, nice stroll, and then the roller coaster of the coast path kicks in, and I think I'm going to be blowing. I'm going to be blowing a little bit, so I apologise for the heavy breathing. This mic picks everything up. So here goes anyway. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Approaching Lee Bay now, and Lee Bay was infamous for having a huge derelict hotel that had been closed down for about probably 15-20 years now, and it's now being redeveloped into houses, accommodation, etc. So it's one heck of a building site at the moment. Pretty much an eyesore for what is normally a beautiful little bay. But in time, I have to say that it's a good thing. Hopefully there'll be some housing for local people as well. Interesting. Time for a bit of lunch. This is why I don't lose any weight. As a northern lad, I love a pie. Okay, leaving Lee Bay now. Tide always seems to be out in Lee Bay, which is a shame. It's a long climb up out of Lee, stiff climb, mainly on road, but whew, I said I'd be blowing a bit. But at least the sun's coming out. Here we go, properly on the coast path now. And I can see the roller coaster ride ahead. But one of my favourite places, it's beautiful. Another one of my favourite viewpoints, this. And the bench comes just at the end of a climb. So, it's a place I always stop. It's quite a glorious day now. I had to take my hoodie off. approaching Bullhead Lighthouse. Oh, this coastline is just spectacular, it really is. It turns left here at Bullhead Lighthouse. Starts heading out to Morte Point. About 1.5 miles to Morte Point. Beautiful calm day. Certainly in the Bristol Channel. After Morte Point, Lundy Island, it's more Atlantic. Cool. So this is the view. There's the lighthouse. It's not a very big one, but as it's on a promontory, it's seeable from 180 degrees, and out there in the distance is Morte Point, where I'm heading. About a mile down there you see a lot of seals. Whether we will today or not, it's hit and miss, but we've seen them many times. This looks like an interesting climb. I think it's about 70 steps. It's almost vertical. Here goes. Gotta get up that cliff now. Quite a high one. Before heading down to Morte Point. Still plenty to do. And not a lot of time. So I better keep going. The last few benches have all been taken. Gets more rugged the closer you get to Morte Point, which is literally a couple of 100 yards away now. But still relatively calm today. So here we are on Morte Point. Quite a beautiful day. A little bit hazy, but not complaining. I need a drink though. How long have we got? Got an hour to get back to the car. So should make that. It's about, yes. Be touch and go, better not stay for too long. So I've got a big birthday coming up. I'm not really one for celebrating birthdays, if I'm honest. But it is a big one. But still, don't think there's much reason to celebrate being 40. Stone. But me and Gabby were going to go for a walk. Somewhere like, well, it probably would have been the Pembrokeshire Coast Path, which is everything we want in a path. Rugged, nearly 200 miles, and coastal. Not dissimilar to Southwest Coast Path. But you'll notice she's not here today. She's still in recovery, I'm afraid. That poor girl. 18 months waiting for an operation. She had it in November. It's now the end of March. It's nearly 5 months. And slow progress. She's literally had to learn to walk again because she hasn't used these muscles for 18 months. She's had to train her brain again to trigger her legs to move, whereas we do it without giving it a thought. She's had physiotherapists who work with people with brain injuries to get her to be able to work this leg again. And they've had to rebuild the cartilage between her shin bones and her thigh bone with stem cells taken from her hip, and they've been put in a little cage to hold them in place. And 5 months along the line, she still can't really put too much weight on it. She's on crutches still. That's over 2 years on crutches. But being on crutches has destroyed a lot of other things. Her hip, her back, she's got trouble with her back, and now her left knee has given her trouble. So we're not going to make the Pembrokeshire Coast Path in May. We might do it a year in May. But for the time being, she's still not able to walk without crutches. So terrain like this is impossible. But there's movement there that wasn't there before. She can lock her leg out. She's on painkillers, has been for 5 months, strong painkillers. But the range of movement has improved from before the op, which you would hope so. But they always said it'd be 12 months rehab. It's caused her a lot of distress as well, that. So as you can imagine, she gets very down about it. It's painfully slow progress. But there is progress there to see. She's back on the bike now, has been for the last few weeks. Very slow, but at least she's got that range of movement. She didn't have that initially, so yeah, maybe towards the autumn might do the Fisherman's Trail in Portugal, because that's be a bit more friendly weather, I would say. But yeah, that's why she's not here, and she's still not here. Just gonna have my apple. I'm sure that sounds like a donkey chewing a carrot. So I'll switch you off because you don't want to hear that. That's Morte Bay round to Baggy Point, and then Heartland Point in the far distance. Lundy. Fabulous bit of coastline. Oh. Oh. That last half a mile uphill to Morte, it's always tough. Morte's a lovely place to finish. But it's on top of a hill. So after 8 miles in the heat, it can be quite testing. So that's the walk over. Managed to do it in under 5 hours, so there's no fines on the car. But yeah, a reminder of how tough the coast path is, especially when you're not fit. Well, I'm never fit, so I should be used to it. I've not been fit since I finished it, the whole thing in 2021. So I need to sort myself out. I'll say that at the end of every walk. Tempted by the Chichester Arms. I just don't think I've got the time. So that's me signing off. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Love like wildfire, I was your entire world until I stood alone in a storm. You took the sunshine, the flames are gone now, and I watched you walk straight out of that door. Promises got lost in the dust, your boots by the door, you're not coming home. Love like wildfire.